Hi, everybody. I'm Robert Gaspari with Golden Boy. Please, everybody start taking their seats. We're going to start the press conference. It's going to go live. We're going to stream it live. We just need media in these seats here, please, all media. And all the rest, everybody else can fill in or get to both sides. We're going to start the press conference shortly. Thank you so much.
All right, we're just going to wait for the rest of the fighters to take their seat. I'm Eric Gomez, Golden Boy Promotions. And we'll get started. Thank you all for being here. Okay, so I guess they have Tony there, but you're there, Peter. Is Bernard going to be here, Monica? He's running late? Okay. We can get started. We'll get started. Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for being here. This is the final press conference to officially announce this Saturday's show. Jorge El Niño de Oro Linares versus Luke Campbell. This is a co-promotion with Taken Promotions out of Japan and with Luke Campbell's promoter, Matchroom, out of the UK. So we're very excited for this world title twin bill. Obviously, Saturday, they're also going to show the replay of Canelo Golovkin, and it's going to be followed by World Championship Boxing. Additionally, we have a co-feature as well we'll be announcing, and we have a great undercard with a bunch of prospects, Golden Boy prospects, and some of the kids that will be future world champions. But before we go there, just a couple of things to note. Linares versus Campbell will be televised on HBO World Championship Boxing beginning at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. The non-televised undercard will go on ringtv.com beginning at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tickets are still available. You can still get tickets at the Forum box office. Tickets start from $25, the lowest price, all the way to $125 for ringside. So you don't want to miss it. Two great fights on HBO and a terrific undercard with many prospects on it as well. Tickets, you can get them at Ticketmaster, 1-800-745-3000 at the Forum box office. Or you can purchase them on www.fabulousforum.com and obviously online at Ticketmaster as well. Before we introduce the fighters, I want to bring someone up to say a few words, the person responsible for this great card, the person responsible for many great cards on HBO. And he's a good friend of mine, Peter Nelson. Peter?
All right, I want to thank all the press for being here. You guys have been working hard. It's been a spectacular run. Canelo Golovkin last weekend was a wonderful event. I really want to thank Oscar De La Hoya and everyone at the team over at Golden Boy for all the work they put into making that event such a success. as well as the week before at Superfly, which was also here in Los Angeles, and now with this week's show. To all the members of the media, really, we couldn't do what we do without your continued support of what we do. I want to thank Oscar, Eric Gomez, everyone at Golden Boy for helping us put together this great show, as well as Mr. Honda, Eddie Hearn, all the folks at Matchroom for all you do. Great contributions to this sport, continually developing the best fighters that we have today. This show came together in large part because of conversations that we had with Golden Boy, with Oscar De La Hoya and Eric Gomez, who said, you know, we're going to be showing the delay of Canelo Golovkin. Let's give the fans something to watch live right after it. And I said, well, what can you do? And they said, well, the toughest fight out there for Jorge Linares right now is his mandatory and Luke Campbell. And I remember Luke, back before he even turned pro, with Robert McCracken coming up to me, and we were talking about how far he was going to go as a pro. That was back, you know, in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, a long time ago. And so it's great to see you and how you've developed, and we're excited to have you on HBO for the first time, here with your promoter from Matchroom and Frank Smith, and thank you, Frank, for everything you've done. In the opener with Roscoe Ortiz, we're thrilled that this is, you know, a toe-to-toe match. It's going to be electric in the ring. Our start time on Saturday is 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and it's going to be a packed house there live. I hope everyone can get there into the arena, but if you can't, watch it live on HBO. We look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter. I forgot to mention the sponsors that have done a great job in helping us promote all our big events on HBO. Last week's big show, and that's Tecate, Born Bold, Casa Mexico Tequila, Thor, the movie Thor, Ragnarok, and Fred Loya Insurance. So thank you guys very much. We couldn't do this without you, obviously. The next person I want to bring up to say a few words is someone that's very dear to us at Golden Boy Promotions, very instrumental as well in the career of Jorge Linares and many, many great champions, and that's Pepe Suleiman. Pepe? Is Pepe here? Ah, Pepe, no te vi.
Good morning. Well, this has been a great month for boxing, with some of the best cards that we've seen. First, the super lights, then the Triple G Canelo, and this one is no exception. This will be an amazing fight. Jorge Linares is our WBC Diamond Belt champion, and he has been a three-division champion. And Luke Campbell, he is a former WBC silver champion, and he won gold in the Olympics. This is for sure a tremendous fight, and the WBC has mandated that the winner of this fight will face Mikey Garcia. Thank you very much to Golden Boy, Mr. Honda Taking Promotions, to HBO. It's always transmitting the best cards of boxing. And I wish the very, very best of luck to both fighters. And thank you very much.
Okay, I was asking Pepe if he wanted to say a few words for Mexico. Obviously, everybody knows what they're going through right now. Our prayers are with them, our thoughts and prayers, and you know, Pepe's family's out there with Mauricio Suleiman. So our thoughts and prayers are with your family and all our friends in Mexico. So, okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a terrific undercard. Many of our top prospects will be fighting. Roberto Diaz, our matchmaker, sitting over here, put together a fabulous undercard. He's been bringing along these fighters, and he put them in some pretty good fights this week, and he's going to be testing them. So You don't want to miss the undercard because a lot of these fighters are either going to be future world champions or challenging for a world title, and it's some of the best prospects that Golden Boy has to offer. So the first one I want to bring up right now, he's got a record of 8-1. Rafael Gramajo, to say a few words. Rafael?
First of all, I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions for allowing me this opportunity on such a great card. Linares, Campbell. Just happy to be back. I've been off for a while. Excited to give the fans a great fight, which is what I'm going to do Saturday. Expect a great fight. I'm a 122 fighter, so it's going to be an action, a lot of action. Thank you.
Thank you. The next Golden Boy prospect is coming off a tough loss, but, you know, he fought against a very good fighter and lost to him, and he lost in a decision, but he's ready to come back now, and we believe in him, and we're going to get him another opportunity for a big fight or a big title in the near future. But, you know, it all starts this Saturday, and I want to bring him up, say a few words. Manuel Tino Avila. Manuel?
I'd like to thank God first. You know, for without him, I wouldn't be in this situation again. And Golden Boy Promotions. You know, I had a little bit of problems in my last fight, but I'm back in the ring. You know, I'm back to prove a point that I deserve to be in the ring and deserve to be with the next world champions. Thank you.
Yeah, Tino was in a very good fight with Joseph Diaz. If you guys saw the pay-per-view this weekend, Joseph had a very good performance. So there's no shame in losing to a Joseph Diaz, and we know that Tino Avila can be a world champion, and we're going to help him get there. The next kid, yes. Thank you, yes. Okay, this next kid is also a big local draw. He's got a very good record, and he's kind of in the same boat as Tino Avila. He had a tough loss, but he's got the goods to compete with some of the best fighters in the world. He's got an excellent record, 22-1. You can hear from him yourself. Abraham Chamaco Lopez. Abraham.
First off, I'd like to thank God, Golden Boy Promotions, for giving me this opportunity to be in an amazing undercard. I mean, great champions, and I'm coming back and gonna avenge. Gonna try to do my best to have a great comeback and give it my all to get to the top. Thank you guys, and hope you guys enjoy this Saturday.
Thank you very much, Abraham. So this next kid is a very exciting fighter. You know, we've been fighting him locally in some of our smaller cards at the Velasco, at the Fight Club. And the first time I saw him, actually, Robert Diaz came up to me and said, "Hey, Eric, you got to see this kid. He's incredible. He's like, you know that cartoon, the Tasmanian Devil?" He says he fights just like that. And I was like, really? Okay, well, I want to check him out. And sure enough, he didn't disappoint. I mean, this kid throws so many punches. He comes right at you. And he's very, very exciting to watch. And he's also developing a very good following in the Armenian community. So I want to bring him up to say a few words. He has his translator here to help translate. And that's Asad Hovanesian. Asad Hovanesian.
Շատ ուրախ եմ, որ մասնակցել եմ Լինարեսի շոուին, Golden-Boy լավ պատրաստվել եմ ես մենամարտին, շաբաթ օրը ամեն ինչ բարձ կլինի, լավ պատրաստվել եմ։
He says he's very happy to be under the undercard of Linares. He's very excited, and he's going to show everybody how good he is, how well prepared he is. He's going to have victory, a lot of success in the future as well. And one thing I want to just cover is Azat has, I know he has 2 losses on his record, but with Golden Boy beside him, he believes he hasn't lost a fight in his life, you know? So those losses haven't been a loss, he believes, and he'll show it on Saturday. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys don't want to miss Assad. He's very, very exciting. This next kid is rooted in the great tradition of fighters coming out of the Philippines. When we first brought him over, he was a little bit of an opponent. And he knocked out one of our top prospects. And we were really, really surprised because he beat a good fighter and knocked him out. And the kid, he's got the goods. He's got a rich, tradition. And the Philippines, obviously, with Manny Pacquiao, but not only Manny Pacquiao, all the great champions that have come out of there, they've always made their way to the United States and eventually become world champions. And we're hoping that this kid can become a world champion. He's very exciting, talented, big puncher, but he can also box. The sky's the limit for this kid. And I want to bring him up to say a few words. And that's Romero Ruthless Duno. Romero.
Hello, thank you for that word, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank God, Golden Boy Promotion, Sandman, my team, and TV shows, all the medias right here, right now. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, we expect a lot from Romero Duno. He's very, very exciting as well and a very good fighter. So that brings us now to the televised portion of the HBO telecast. And this first fight, like Peter said a little earlier, this is going to be a shootout. 2 guys are going to go toe-to-toe, a lot of action. They're both very, very big punchers. They're both Mexican, and they don't back up for anything. So you don't want to miss this fight. It's going to be very, very exciting. I want to bring up first the manager for Roberto Maza Ortiz to say a few words, and that's Mr. Guillermo Rocha. He'll come up and say a few words on behalf of his fighter.
Bueno, primero que nada, buenas tardes a todos. Quiero agradecer a Oscar de la Hoya, a Roberto Díaz, a Eric Gómez, por esta gran oportunidad que nos dan.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for being here. Good afternoon. I want to thank Oscar de la Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, Robert, and Eric Gómez.
Estamos muy contentos y felices de ser parte de esta gran cartelera donde enfrentan Campbell y Linares.
We're very happy and motivated to be on such a great card where we have some tremendous fighters like Linares and Campbell.
Sabemos de nuestro rival, sabemos que es un rival inteligente, rápido, fuerte y que golpea bien al cuerpo.
We know of our opponent. We know he's a very talented, a very aggressive, very intelligent, that he does real good work to the body.
Pero bueno, Maza se ha preparado durante 2 meses y medio, está mentalizado, está convencido de que tiene que enfrentar a estos rivales.
But that's what Maza trained for. That's what he's prepared for. He knows that in order to make it further, he has to face these type of opponents and these types of challenges.
Para que nos den una oportunidad a seguir en estas grandes carteleras.
And if we want to continue on these big cards, these are the type of opponents we need to face.
Los esperamos el sábado, va a ser una gran guerra, van a dar todo. Buenas tardes.
And we'll see you Saturday. This will be a war. They're going to give it all in the ring. And have a good evening. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Memo. And guys, don't get confused. That's not the Fonz over there. That's Roberto Diaz, our matchmaker. So thank you, Roberto, for translating. So I want to bring him up. Roberto Massa Ortiz, he's got an incredible record, 35-1, 26 big knockouts, a warrior out of Mexico, and he's here to prove that he belongs and that he's an HBO fighter. But he has a tough test against him in Antonio Orozco, but he's ready to prove that he belongs. So I want to bring him up, Roberto Massa Ortiz.
Bueno, primero que nada, buenas tardes a todos.
First of all, good afternoon to everyone.
Muy agradecido con la empresa Golden Boy, con Roberto Díaz, Eric Gómez,
Very happy with Golden Boy. I want to thank them. Eric Gomez, Robert Diaz,
con mi manejador Guillermo Rocha, que siempre me ha apoyado.
with my manager, Guillermo Rocha, who's always supported me.
Pero realmente sé la importancia que es esta pelea. Sé que tengo un rival fuerte enfrente de mí, pero bueno, estoy preparado. Me he preparado a lo largo de 2 meses y medio.
I know the responsibility that this fight brings to me. I know what I have in front of me, how talented my opponent is, but that's what I trained for 2.5 months.
Sé que es una gran oportunidad para mi carrera. Sé que ganando este próximo sábado vienen cosas grandes en el boxeo mundial y bueno, mi mente, cuerpo y fortaleza está enfocada en eso, en ganar.
And I know how important this fight is, and I know what the fight can do for me. It will bring, a win here will bring bigger and better things. And that's what I prepared for. My body, my mind, my strength is to win on Saturday night.
Y sé que será una gran guerra. Yo creo que toda la gente que asista este 23 de septiembre al Forum va a salir muy contenta. Y bueno, gracias por todo el apoyo.
And to all the fans, it will be a war. Those of you who show up at the Forum or watch it on TV will leave very happy because I promise that it will be a war. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you, Roberto. He's here to prove that he belongs, and he's here to prove that he can compete in the world stage. He's got a very tough test against undefeated Antonio Relentless Orozco. And, you know, Antonio's has a tremendous record as well, 26-0, 17 knockouts. He's one of our top contenders at Golden Boy Promotions. He's highly rated in all the organizations. If he gets this win on Saturday, he can most likely be fighting for a world title in his next fight. So I want to bring him up to say a few words, give you his version of what's going to happen. Antonio Orozco.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, we want to thank God for blessing us with another opportunity. Golden Boy Promotions, HBO, everyone that's involved here. And it's been said, Roberto Massa Ortiz, he brings everything to the table. And these are styles that make fights. We don't want to disappoint anyone. Saturday night, as much as he's here to win, I'm here to win. This is a fight for my career. I want my career to keep on moving forward. I'm presented with these opportunities, and I do not want to disappoint. With that being said, we'll wait till Saturday night. Let's get this done at the iconic Forum. Just want to invite everyone. This is where the night starts and finishes off with Linares and Campbell. This is a fight that you don't want to miss. I'm here to give it my all. So we'll see you guys Saturday night.
Thank you, Antonio, very much. So that brings us to the main event. But before I introduce the participants of the main event, I want to bring up someone that's very special to us at Golden Boy, legendary fighter. He's a partner at Golden Boy. He's our boss, the great Bernard Hopkins, to say a few words. Bernard?
Believe it or not, I'm going to be short, but I'm going to be right to the point. First, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting not only Golden Boy, but boxing. And, whether it's HBO pay-per-view, whether it's HBO, whether it's HBO After Dark, we continue to work with those who want to work with us to put good shows on. And you need a network that want to do that, and HBO has been doing that. So I like to, Peter Nelson, I'd like to thank Peter Nelson for being the other puzzle to our vision, what we want to do. And also to everybody at Golden Boy, the workers, the ground, field soldiers that we have, field soldiers, they on the ground. And every team needs certain departments where they handle the things that they don't give really credit for. But I'd like to thank all of them. The fighters, from right to left, you'll have an opportunity to be able to get your name out there. And it's so important that you put everything out there. You look at Saturday as the opportunity. And so if you keep that in your mind, whether it's Saturday, whether it's in the future, you will realize that people will pay attention. So not only do your best, be your best. And execute come Saturday, and you know what? You'll get the attention of the public, and also Golden Boy, if you're not with us. If you're not with somebody else, then good. So, if you're with someone else, then that's even good. It's good for boxing. But at the end of the day, we continue to do what we need to do to support boxing. The media, y'all play a role in there also. Can't tell you what to do, but if it is what it is, then you're right what it was. Thank you.
Wait, let me think about that. If it is what okay, I like that one, Bernard. That's a good one. That's a good one. So that brings us to the main event. I think it's been 4 or 5 years the last time Jorge Linares fought on HBO. He fought here in the States. He's made a name for himself internationally. In fact, he's fought the last few years in the UK. And I think he's been out there so much, I think he might be a citizen of the UK now. But we're happy to have him back here in the States. And when I first started talking to Peter Nelson about putting him back and having him on HBO and having him fight here in the States, we kind of talked about opponents, and I purposely skipped over Luke Campbell because I know how tough he is. And Peter just kept coming back to Luke Campbell. Well, why not fight Luke Campbell? Why not fight Luke Campbell? And I think I went around him like 3 times. And finally, we decided, look, let's do it. Jorge wants to prove that he's the best lightweight in the world. And he wants to prove that he'll take on all comers. And it's been a long road for him. The last time he fought here in the U.S., it was very painful. He fought at the Staples Center. Suffered a loss to some fighter. I don't remember his name. And but he's back. And he's back, and he's got all the belts, and he's worked his way back. And he's got a big test this Saturday with Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell's no joke. He's undefeated. He's very strong. He's a great fighter in his own right. And we want to give you guys the best. And this is the best. It's the best fighting the best. We've said it all along. You guys saw it last week. You're going to see it again this Saturday. So I'm very, very happy to be working with Matchroom and with Taken Promotions in this main event. And I want to bring up to say a few words and to introduce this fighter, Mr. Frank Smith from Matchroom. Frank?
Hello, everyone. It's great to be in LA. Big thank you to Golden Boy, all the guys, Robert, Eric, Bernard, Oscar, obviously. It's great to be on HBO as well this weekend. They've had some great nights recently. I'm sure this show is going to match up to it as well. Sky Sports, our exclusive broadcaster in the UK, where Luke's built his platform, and they're really excited for the fight this weekend. You can't take anything away from what Jorge's done over the years. Obviously, last 3, I think, of his last 4 fights have been on our shows. Kevin Mitchell and Anthony Crolla twice. But I think coming up against Luke Campbell now, Luke's fresh, he's young. People have written Luke off for this fight, a few people, but he's been active. He's had a strong camp for the last 1.5 years or so. He's been in the US. I think Jorge's been in the UK, so they've kind of swapped it over now. So Luke's really looking forward to it, and he understands the challenge ahead. But I think he's ready for it, and I think on Saturday night, he's ready to take the belts back to the UK. So I'd like to introduce Luke Campbell.
Thanks, Frank. Appreciate that. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very excited to make my debut on HBO. Thank you for Jorge Linares for giving me this opportunity with Golden Boy. I've had a great camp. I'm focused. Can't remember the last time I had focus like this, but you know I need it against such a great champion as Linares is. You know, it's a great challenge. It's a challenge I'm really up for, and it's a challenge that I believe I can overcome on Saturday night. Thank you for all my family and friends that have come out here to support me. I couldn't do it without them. Thank you for Matchroom for giving me the opportunity. And it's going to be a great fight on Saturday night, you know. But I'm ready. I'm ready to give the fans a good fight, and I'm ready for this challenge. Thank you.
If you guys haven't seen Luke Campbell fight, he can really fight. I mean, he's a terrific fighter, terrific young contender, and Jorge is going to have his hands full. But again, you know, Jorge wants to fight the best fighters in the world. He's been around for some time. He had to fight abroad, obviously, to win the titles. And he wants to prove that he belongs. He wants to prove that he's an HBO fighter, and he wants to prove that he's the top lightweight in the world. And it starts with Luke Campbell, and you have to take these kind of fights. And we're committed to giving you guys, the fans, these type of fights, because these are real fights. He's got a great trainer that's helped him along the way win these titles. And I want to bring him up to say a few words, and before we introduce the champion, Ismael Salas. Ismael?
Hi guys, first I'd like to say thank you to Golden Boy, HBO to give the opportunity to Jorge Linares and bring over Luke Campbell. It will be a very great fight, and I hope everyone enjoy a really very good fight. We've been doing very good camp. We've been for almost 3 months in London, and then finish it up here in USA, and for sure we will bring the best of Jorge. Jorge been growing day by day. Seems like everybody say the time he lost to the time we are now after 5-6 years. Jorge is different fighter, and it's time to prove it, and he is ready for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, Ismael said it himself. He's a different